Hello, it's Matthew with Dead to Rights. Um, Today, I want to talk about something that actually frustrates the heck out of me. And that's the fact that our kids, American kids, because apparently the rest of the world has some privileges that Americans don't have, our kids in America are being poisoned and have been poisoned for who knows how long. And nobody, I'm going to guess, nobody's going to be held accountable, responsible, liable. Um, Nobody's going to be held criminally liable, financially liable, nothing. So here's what I read this week. That apparently in January there was a study done on candies. Candies that kids eat. That adults eat too, but a lot of kids eat them. And as many as 20 candies, popular candies that all kinds of people eat, especially children, have unhealthy, dangerous levels of arsenic in them. Now, most people have, I guess, been jumping on the fact that Nerds candies, little hard candies and stuff, Nerds gummies and stuff like that, that these have unsafe levels of arsenic. And we're not just talking about like barely, we're talking about like tens to hundreds of times the safe recommended levels of arsenic. Arsenic, a literal poison. Is naturally occurring, but it's toxic to humans, and especially toxic to children because they're little humans, so they can take a lot less than an adult can. And yet, are these companies, candy companies like Hershey's, Nerds, Kit Kats, Sweet Tarts, which were my personal favorites growing up and even today, that eating so many of them cause not causes, but it contains very high levels of arsenic. I mean, we're talking about a little box of Nerds containing, I think when I was looking at it, containing 20 times, most likely 20 times the levels of the safe recommended levels of arsenic, not just for a day, not just for a week, but for an entire flippin' year. One box of Nerds is 20 times the safe recommended levels of arsenic for an entire year for a child. I've been thinking about this for days. I'm a father, a new father. I don't give my son stuff with processed sugars. We don't give my son things with processed flour. But it blows my flipping mind. I don't know what reason they have for stuffing candy full of arsenic. I don't know what freaking reason they think is good enough to put poison in candy. But if I were to do it, and no matter what reason I had, even if I didn't really know what arsenic was, which everybody knows what arsenic is, but even if I didn't know, and I were to feed my son, let's just say I was feeding him chicken that I made, and I said, look, I've heard that arsenic enhances flavor. I don't know what arsenic is used for, but let's just say that I thought that it enhanced flavor. And I put in the same amount of arsenic in my child's food that they put in candy given to American children all over, and adults and anyone who eats it. If I were to do that to my child, and my child were to get sick, and were to go to the doctor, and the doctor were to go, hey, let's test his blood, and they were to find out that he had arsenic in his blood, and then they were to call Child Protective Services, and they were to come do an investigation and find out that I was handing my child arsenic or putting arsenic in my child's food for months and years, hundreds of times past the recommended levels, and he was to get sick or injured because of it, I would be in prison. I would be in prison if I did it to my child, even if I didn't fully know what arsenic was. And they can do it not just to my child, not just to me when I was growing up as a child. They can do it to every flipping child in America. They can do it to every person in America because the adult recommended levels, it still surpasses it. It's only like 2.5 times the level that children can take. So rather than being 20 times the recommended level, the safe level of arsenic, it's only like 8 times or 7 times the recommended yearly arsenic level. Will they go to prison? Will they be held responsible? Will they be held liable either financially or legally? No, of course not. Of course not. These multi-billion-dollar freaking companies can poison everyone in the freaking world, and the government just turns an eye to it, just turns a blind eye to it. And you can't flip and tell me that they didn't know they were putting it in there. I wouldn't believe that for a freaking second. And how come it just took until 2026 for somebody to figure this out? Now, do they put it on their ingredients list? Hey, just so you know, just like a cigarette box has warning, this product contains nicotine, the Sweet Tarts or Nerds or Kit Kats, are they requiring to say, hey, warning, before you give this to your children, this product contains unhealthy levels of arsenic as determined by the FDA? It's freaking ridiculous. It makes me so freaking mad. I mean, I've been mad about this for days. I think I read about this on Monday or Tuesday or something, and I've been mad about this for days. Because all I can think is how unjust this is. My wife has tried for a long time to get me to give up soda. And look, I'm an adult. Adults, whatever. Adults can smoke. Adults can drink. You make your own choices given the information that you have. But what if you don't have the information? Oh, cancer rates are up for young people. I wonder why. Oh, we don't know. We don't know why cancer rates are up. Maybe it's because we're not as healthy as we used to be. Maybe it's because of this or that or whatever. Or maybe they're just not exercising enough. Or maybe it's because you're giving them freaking arsenic in the foods that they eat. And you're marketing to them like, oh, this is a nice healthy snack. Eat it at a movie theater. Eat it with your friends. Do whatever. Oh, this is fun size. It's only this big. And yet it contains 20 times the arsenic level, the poison level that you need in your body, that you should have in your body at any given, not any given time, any given year of time. How freaking crazy is that? Nobody's going to be held responsible for this. I mean, people should be in jail. I would be in prison. I wouldn't be able to see my child if I did this to him. If I was giving little spoonfuls of poison to my child. And they wonder why people don't freaking trust them, right? I mean, our drinking water is poisoned with fluoride and other chemicals that they use to treat it. Our produce is poisoned with pesticides and herbicides that haven't been fully tested. Our candy is poisoned with arson. What else is poison? What else is killing us? What else are they allowed to just put in because it's a little bit of a cost benefit to them? They just get to make a little cost benefit analysis and go, oh, well, it saves me 0.5 cents per ounce. And so that justifies it. I want justice. Not just for me or for my kids. I'm not going to give my kids this crap. I'm glad that I know now. But you know that I grew up on eating candies and stuff, and I can't blame my parents. How would they have known? How many illnesses and diseases and heart problems and health problems are being caused because these companies, these greedy freaking companies, don't care about you. They don't care about your children. They care about a dollar. And the U.S. government takes money from them in lobbies. And they turn a blind eye to all these things that are just hurting American people and the next generation of our children. The people who are supposed to represent us and supposed to protect us and supposed to pass laws that benefit us as a people, not the companies. No, they protect the corporation. I freaking sound like a socialist or something. But it's just crazy. It's absolutely wild to me that in 2026 I would read an article that was saying something to the effect of that basically we're being poisoned hundreds of times, maybe even thousands of times if you look at how much of the stuff that kids actually eat. Think about Valentine's Day coming up. Valentine's Day, Christmas, how much candy people get. Birthdays. I mean, goodness. How much candy do kids eat in a freaking year? If you ate one small box of Nerds a week, I would say probably a lot of kids in this country would at least eat a little box of Nerds. I mean, if you average it out, maybe once a week. Sure, whatever. And it could be any other candies, Kit Kats, Sweet Tarts, whatever. But let's just say that it's one box of Nerds that has 20 times the safe levels of arsenic times 50. Give them 2 weeks off, whatever. 50. That's 1,000 times the yearly recommended levels. 1,000. It's just insane. Are we ever going to get justice for that? Is someone going to be held accountable? Somebody going to be held liable? Is the same kind of justice system that would come down on me and take away all of my life? My life would be ruined if I were to do anything like that. Is that justice system going to treat them the same way? Is it going to come down as hard on them as it would for me if I were to do it? If I were to do it to one child, they can do it to 1 million children, and they have less of a consequence than if I were to do it to one. And they have scientists and people who test this crap all the time. Is anyone going to be held accountable? Is anyone going to be held to the same standard? Probably not. I don't vote. I don't even believe anyone would do anything. But maybe somebody will. Maybe somebody in this whole government system that's in America would actually think about the next generation. Would actually think that life isn't just about me, it's also about our children. It's also about the people who have to live after us. Can somebody think about them? Can somebody give them justice? Can somebody stop these companies, for the love of the almighty dollar, from doing this crap to us over and over and over again? That's all I want. Have a blessed day. Be blessed in Jesus. Not in this world, man. This world sucks sometimes. It makes me so freaking mad. But hope in Jesus, trust in Jesus. I don't know what else to say. So that's going to be it. Have a good one, guys.